Terrika Foster-Brasby, happy Monday. It's WNBA Mondays. You know, we love these. And we had such a great weekend of games. And I want to have probably a little too early MVP conversation because there are some people who think right now you can't start talking about MVP. But I had a tweet, I posted something and there were some people who came for me. They didn't like my tweet because I said that I thought Napheesa Collier right now is, she's to me, she's the clear front runner for MVP. But I also said that I thought probably the only person that I think is really going to challenge her is Caitlin Clark. That doesn't mean that I don't think other people's names can emerge in the MVP conversation. And I said, look, hey, it's early. But I did tweet that, and I got a lot of pushback from that. So I do, Terrika, I just want to know sort of your early thoughts on MVP because, I think coming into the season when we had you on before, we were both in agreement that we thought it's Napheesa Collier is going to get it this year. But obviously that's what we think coming into the season. Doesn't mean that will be the outcome. But I think she has confirmed what many have thought so far coming into the season. And to me right now, she's having a very similar season to A'ja Wilson last year. Dominant. I feel like she's clear right now of the field. It does not mean that people can't, catch her. But Napheesa right now is doing some ridiculous things, Terrika. And I don't want to monopolize time, but I just want to say a few things about her. 26.1 points. That's what she's averaging. 8.8 rebounds. Almost 4 assists as the 4, okay? So she's doing some playmaking out there. She is shooting 53.3 from the field, 44.4% from 3. It's a lower volume, but it's almost 4 shots a game and 93% from the free throw line. Correct me if I'm wrong, Terrika, but the only person to do that and is Elena Deladon, right? Averaged the 50-40-90 season, or has there been another one in WNBA history?
She is the only one in WNBA history who's ever done that. Yep.
And when she did it, she won MVP too, correct?
Won MVP that season. Yep. And there's only 13 people ever, men's or women, who's ever averaged 50, 40, 90. So it ain't a large club. It's a very short list. But I want to make sure you're done before I step in. But I felt like, and granted, I understand as we're looking at MVP, we are only looking at WNBA as we should because it's the WNBA's award. But I just look at the totality of Fee and why it's so amazing what she's doing, because I feel like she's coming into this season quite literally on a mission. And that mission started in Unrivaled. That mission started literally, honestly, after losing the post Olympics, literally losing after losing the WNBA title. It feels, to your point, it definitely feels like keep that same energy kind of feel and moment that A'ja Wilson had last year after getting that 4th place vote. That is exactly what I'm feeling from Fee, because I feel like Fee thinks she's been disrespected. I feel like she thinks that she's been under the radar when she shouldn't have been, that she doesn't get the conversation that she should get at times, and that she truly felt like she deserved to win a WNBA championship. And that's why I say in other conversations, they don't care about being perfect. They got a mission, and Fee is leading the charge. She's leading that charge. And so you've already ran down all the stats. I agree that I think Caitlin Clark is definitely going to be in the MVP conversation this year. She's already shown it. I mean, I hate to be this person, but you could see how Indiana looked when she wasn't playing, right? And so that alone was enough to be like, something is up here. But she's definitely doing it. A'ja Wilson is never ever going to be out of the MVP conversation for me. She's always going to be in it because she's that good where she can turn it on when she needs to. And I know that it's going to sometimes come down to how your team performs, even though I don't always agree that you have to have the best team or you have to be the number 1 team, or else they should change the name of the award to the best team and the best player on the best team. So I don't think that Vegas has to be a number 1 seed in order for her to be in the conversation. But she's so good at what she does. She can impact the game at any moment, and she's out right now with a concussion. Who knows when she's going to come back, but I can never discount her. So if I'm talking MVP right now, I'm going Fee, Caitlin, A'ja.
Okay. Okay. I know you have to run, so I'm gonna just say this. Like, I believe I'm on par with you. I think Asia can step up and do MVP for her.
And let's throw Alicia Gray in that conversation too, because she's balling.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna get to. But like Asia, like for me, right now she actually, when you look at her stats, they're ridiculous because for her standards, it's actually an underwhelming season. For her standards, she's even shooting below 50% from the field for the first time in 3 years. I don't expect that to continue, but I agree with everything you said. I do think people like Alicia Gray, Satu Sabli, these are some names that have been thrown out there. I think you can probably maybe see them get some MVP votes this year. I expect to see all WNBA teams. I think with them, for me, where that becomes a little challenging is on a team like Phoenix, her teammate is Alyssa Thomas. She's the engine for a reason. And she's also someone who you would probably consider as an MVP candidate. She was out for a little bit, so now we're going to see as their season progresses. And same thing with Alicia playing next to Ryan Howard. They both are so important to that team. And so while this is a career year for Alicia, like, it's one night it's Ryan, one night it's her. So it's sort of, I want to see how that plays out the rest of the season.
Yeah, I hope that our voters will look at the totality of the body of work, right? And that's where you sometimes have to put the trust in the voters to do the right thing. When it comes to the end of the season, you can be next to some amazing players. I mean, we saw, and I hate to be, I really hate to keep using NBA references, but how many times did we see LeBron James win an MVP and he played next to some really dope players at time, right? He played next to a Kyrie, he played next to a D Wade, he played next to some great players, but it didn't diminish what he did individually.
For
right?
sure.
So I look at someone like an Alicia Gray and I say, yeah, you are playing next to a dog and Ryan Howard, but an MVP award is an individual award. And what you and Ryan do together is what helps to make Atlanta go. Individually, your career highs in every statistical category.
Absolutely.
Career high in percentage, in field goal percentage, in assists, and like literally every statistical category. And that is something that cannot be overlooked. So I would challenge any voter to not pay attention to necessarily who a player is playing beside or playing with, because that is what helps formulate a team effort.
I agree.
You definitely need to look at what are you doing specifically that makes you the outstanding player to be in this MVP conversation.
And I should clarify, because A'ja Wilson and all those people have great teammates, I don't like when players are penalized for teammates. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it's hard to determine who is the most valuable. And that was really more my point. Like, who is really the person driving this? Terrika, thank you so much, as always, for your insight. I appreciate it. You guys, make sure you are subscribed to our new YouTube channel, the WNBA on NBC. You're getting everything WNBA here. We just had this great conversation. There will be more. So subscribe so you don't miss out. T, thanks again. Have a great rest of the day.